Liberty's 18
Yo, remember when,
and Dream
think about
is
it.
22.
I was looking at that the other day, thinking about, we thought our first apartment was like $2,000 or some crazy shit. I don't remember. It was like, and we thought that was expensive to look at today. We pay almost double that, but we were like, it was a little under $2,000.
No, it was under. It was
like 1,800, I think, or 17. I don't remember. But to think, right? We was like fucking like, oh, that's expensive. But that's living in the environment you come from, where everybody got $600, $800, $1,000 rent, right? You don't know that that's not normal rent prices, because you're around subsidized low income people that they fly, they got the bag, all of that shit, and they got these low level way of thinking. Nobody's trying to evolve. They're just trying to stay comfortable, and not just street people. We talking about city workers, whether they sanitation, MTA, whatever, making $100,000, $200,000. Well, overtime they pulling in almost $150,000, $150,000 a year, but living in that because they don't want to pay more rent. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, people like, why would you pay this much? I'm like, oh, you know you could get a mortgage. I was like, yeah, but I don't gotta blow leaves. I don't gotta shovel snow. Granny,
that's the starting point.
You can pay a landscaping company, right? But that still is another expense on top of
my boy
a mortgage.
Just paid $8,000.
And they don't understand that. I gotta worry
about
about plumbing. I gotta worry about the gutters. I have to worry about the property being dirty in the front, ticketing. So I'm like, that's the stress. I'd rather pay a maintenance fee to the building and have them do that. I also don't have to worry about coming home to piss and shit in my elevator. I don't step on piss. I don't have to look for parking. Not saying that crime or, and things don't happen, because it happens everywhere, but the percentage or the likelihood of something happening to me when I come home, no. My packages don't get stolen. They leave my packages out in front of the house. Like, literally there. It could be in the garage. It's going to be there for, we go on vacation and the packages will still be there. Yeah. My neighbors don't touch my shit. Nothing like that. So this is what I'm paying for. I'm paying for a peace of mind, right? My car don't get scratched up. It's not random dents. If somebody did hit your car, somebody will leave a note on your car and say, hey,
into your window,
like,
change.
People pick up their dog shit. I'm like, it's just yo. There's so many elements of that people go, oh, I pay for convenience, comfort, luxury, and a peace of mind, and that shit is priceless.
Yeah. I ain't gonna hold you. Right. That should be just like, it'd be crazy. So, it's funny. The dude, Fat Gleesh, he had said something the other day, really quick. I want to talk on it. And he was like, it took him a while to figure out walking away is the most gangster shit you could do.
Like from a confrontation?
Yeah. He was like, I remember when I thought somebody telling me walk away was like the most cowardice thing you could do. He said, but I seen somebody going to jail, seeing somebody get killed over the phone, seeing somebody get killed over a snack. He said, I was in a situation where a nigga asked another nigga to drive to his car. It was like maybe 7 feet, 8 feet, like half a block away, and it just turned ugly, and he got killed because he didn't want to give a nigga a ride to his car. You know what I'm saying?
Like, obviously that's somebody he knew.
Yeah. So, and I always say that. I always tell people, I'm a non-violent person now, and I tell people this. In order for you to be non-violent, you have to be capable of extreme violence. Besides that, you're just a pussy. You know what I'm saying? So I look at so many circumstances and I say, damn, I dodged a lot of shit by just going, you know what? I ain't tripping on that. Like, that shit ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to think, with the amount of crime that's going on, with these kids just killing each other senselessly, it's hard to give them that narrative, because they're killing each other at a way younger age than when shit was going on, believe it or not. Like, these kids is 12 years old, 11 years old, 14, 16 be the oldest, and recent that from personal people around me, and I'm like, damn, they babies, and they slaughtering each other like that, and I'm like, I'm wondering, could they get to a point where they could just get to where they see, like, you know what, this shit ain't even worth it.
It's hard because you said something earlier about the OGs, and
they don't exist no more.
They don't exist. The youth doesn't respect the elders, and that has a lot to do with the parents.
I blame single baby mothers.
You can't tell my kid anything, so I have that. Like, I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and a lot of younger cousins. And certain parents have issues with you reprimanding or scolding their child. My rule is, if I can't scold your child, and I feel like I should never have to put my hands on your kid, because your kid should respect me. So if it goes there, oh, I don't even want your kid around me. But your child can't be around me if I can't
check them.
Yeah.
That has to be universal law for black people.
Because I feel like that with Dream of Liberty. They are adults now. If someone ever saw them not carrying themselves according outside, y'all better tell them something.
Yeah, act like you got
y'all
some
know
fucking,
me, and
exactly.
y'all know how. Like,
act
like
you got some
fucking sense, right?
Yeah.
So there's none of that anymore. There's no community. We always talk about that time. There's no more community. So for the people that was like, oh, come on, I'm like, y'all need to fuck the voting part. Go talk to the people in your community, the kids, and not just lecture them like saying, don't do that. Y'all need to put the guns down. Y'all have to really show them shit. Take them to the morgue. Because I don't think they know that what death is, to really see it, or see their friends in the casket, see their chest get split open. I told you, one of my cousins, when he saw my uncle like that, that shit fucked him up for life. He was like, yo, I saw his chest open with the autopsy getting done. I can't tell you how many bodies that I've actually seen. I've been out in the club and so someone got shot right in front of me, dead. I've seen my cousin dead on the floor, where it was posted on Facebook and YouTube and everybody was posting it. That's an image that's constantly displayed in my head. I've had friends killed on a weekly basis. You look, like you said, how many people's kids, somebody's child who just got murdered, age 16 years old. When I was in high school, it was like literally back to back to back. And not all people I've heard of or knew of, people that I dealt with every day. Yeah. Like during that time frame when that happened, when Booga, like so many people was killed in that short time frame. Yeah. Like we literally lost. Like we are surrounded by death on a consistent basis, to where you don't even have time.
It's so normal
to breathe.
But
it shouldn't be normal.
No.
I have friends that never had anybody get murdered. They don't know somebody who was murdered. Yo. And I'm like, God damn, I couldn't. And you would think, even with me being so far removed from the environment, I still get the notification, right? Because I still have people here. Whenever I get a phone call at 2 or 3 in the morning, I hate when people call me at that time frame, because I be like, oh my God. Like especially if I get 2 calls from the same person back to back, or within the same time frame, or if it's 2 of my brothers, and it could just be a coincidence, my heart is like this, because they're calling me to tell me somebody got shot, somebody got this. I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah. And you don't even realize it. I'm like, oh, we go through post-traumatic stress every day.
So it's funny you said that. When I was in boarding school, I was 15? That's when I realized, tissue?
No.
When I was 15, and my some of the kids that was staying in my dorm with me, name was Lefkoff, Jonathan Lefkoff, right? Jewish, of course, right? And every time I would get a call, because it was like a payphone that we had in the dorm, because we wasn't allowed to have cell phones.
Oh, people would call it back?
They could call the phone. And it was like every time I got a call, it was almost like, because I didn't get many calls to the thing. It was like a house phone. The people I didn't want to have on my cell phone, I gave them that so they could call there, right? And it was like every time I got a call, somebody was killed. And I'll never forget when he said that, he was like, damn, you right? He was like, every time you get off the phone, your mood changed. Because you know me, I'm an affable person. I'm always smiling, joking. I was like, yeah, one of my boys was got shot. And so he was like, he didn't say anything. And then the second time it happened, I was like, yeah, another one of my boys got shot. I'm like, he's dead. And he was like, wait, you mean, he was like, he was murdered? And him saying he was murdered was the first time I ever looked at it. I said, we at the time, we looked at it like, oh, he got shot and died. We never said murdered.
Right.
The music, everything was murder, 187, all that shit, right? But our verbal fluency never uttered the words, yo, you remember what happened to such? He got murdered. We didn't say that. We just go, he got shot. Or they bodied that nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? We shied away from the word murder. And somebody might feel like, oh, it's not a big deal. But that word changed my whole perception of what the environment that I lived in. Where I was like, yo, murder is normal where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
So back to your point when you said you got friends that never.
We say killed.
That's what I'm saying. Got killed. Yeah, you got killed.
We don't use the word murder.
Right? So really quick. So when you said you got friends, so he said, well, they all went to the military. And I was young. I go to ask you like, no, dumbass. Like they live in my neighborhood. And this is what changed. A lot of that shit changed my whole perspective and why I never wanted to be there no more. Because I'm being outside of there. You sure you don't want a tissue?
Yeah, no, my eyes are just different.
So when Cream said that shit to his little brother, I felt like he was talking to me, sidebar. Said if you win in here, you losing in the real world. Mm-hmm. And at that moment, I was like, yo. And then when I sat with him and he asked me, was my friends in the military? I said, you don't know nobody that been killed, to your point, killed? Mm-hmm. I said, you don't know nobody that been killed before? And it was like 7 to 8 of us, like sitting around in like the little living room area.
And they been killed like a car accident.
No,
like, you know what I'm saying? Not like intentional, like someone went to murder somebody, right? Yeah. So it's like, oh, maybe an illness. Yeah. Like, right? Illness.
No, killed, right? So none of them knew anybody, whether it was car accident, whatever, even then. But none of them knew anybody that was shot and killed. And that's when I knew that where I lived was not normal. And just black people generally across the board, but in particularly in those communities, it's sad to your point of being young. Like, I've been seeing death since age 12.
And then you have to be around the murderers.
In some cases.
I've experienced...
In some cases.
I had 3 close people shot in front of me. And, like, literally saw the whole thing. And I'm walking my dog, my mother, everybody's there. And I'm talking about... I can't even count how many rounds went off. And the getaway car is right in front of me. And when I see who the person's doing the shooting, I'm like, I know them. And I know the people who they shooting at. And my mother was like, she was going to have a heart attack. I feel like I'm telling the story. But she was like, turn the fuck around. And now my response was, they not going to fucking shoot me in the back of my head. I'm looking at this nigga. He looking at me, and I just looked at that nigga, and I'm looking at him, and he looking at me, and then he just threw the shotgun in the back of the car. The other niggas threw it. I don't know whether he had an AK, threw that in the front, and they got in, and they walked away. I'm not going to say too much detail about what and who, but I talk about we had to cross paths every day, me and this person.
Yeah.
Every day. And my thought process is like, your heart is racing because you could have just got shot yourself because they felt like, fuck it, we just going to kill the witnesses. You don't even know if not your people got shot. This is not my people's, the shooters, but I'm acquaintances with them. I know them. They from my neighborhood. And you just like, and then every day you seeing them, like ain't nothing happened. My mother clearly not going to talk to the cops. We're not going to do any of that. And we just go on. So when y'all be talking about, y'all want to crack jokes all the time, you and the girl is like, oh yeah, you gotta go. I'm like, this is what it is. Because this is the environment. It's either literally kill or be killed.
Yeah.
Right? So I couldn't be a weak bitch or anything like that. I couldn't be scared in that moment. I'm just like, all right, you know what? It is what it is. They survived, but they didn't move from their environment. They stood on that block. Some of them, 2 of them, I believe, still live there to this day. Yeah, my mother still lives there to this day. And do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's just one of, I can't even tell you how many that I've seen. Like, so you like, damn, like you see blood, you see, and like literally right in front of you. So
to piggyback that, one of the things that made me realize I never want to raise my kids in the project was when, I don't want to say names, but the little girl got shot in the face on her way to school. And what fucked me up was her parents didn't move after that.
Nobody ever moves after that.
No,
and with project, you know how you can get a safety transfer? Like for most people, if a crime happens in a project or if your family's at risk, they didn't even do that.
That's my point. But this, how selfish are you as a parent to have your child experience a near-death experience, and to your point of making you tough, have them go out every day after that and relive the moment where they got shot in the face, innocently, mind you, right? Because it wasn't like it was a stray bullet or whoever was shooting, and have to relive that shit every day. And I was I a parent yet? I think Dream was born. I don't even know if Dream was born yet.
Yeah, Dream has to be born
right?
probably.